We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
Uh-oh, the main man did a tier list? Holy smokes. Okay,
Prominence is forward one.
where does he talk about Clive? Oh, at the beginning of the video?
This move alone says I'm not mid-tier because my prominence.
That move's a monster, huh? Monster, monster, monster. Remember when I said no one's paying attention to Claudio? I don't know if you guys remember when I say these things. I said, literally, Claudio is incredible in this game. And I'm like, how is no one else seeing this guy, Claudio? And now look at him. He's sitting in the top 5.
Prominence is forward 1+2, and it is arguably the best move in the game. This move alone puts Clive way up in tier list. The second hit, you can step if the first hit whiffs. But you're not gonna try that because, you know, you're basically gonna get... It's a heat engager, it also wall splats, it does the dishes, it sucks.
I just think there's too many things applied to these one attacks. I think that they should, like Yoshimitsu's forward 1+2, right? Activates heat, it tracks to one side, and it will wall splat you. And that's why Yoshi's used it as a cross up at the wall, because if you tech roll the wrong way, if you do something wrong, then you're hit. I think there's a lot of moves like that that just has too many properties tacked onto it.
Also, to complement the neutral, we have back 2, and this is also an unbelievably strong button. You'll note the reach. This is also homing. It doesn't have a homing trail, but you can't step this move.
See, why do they do that? In Tekken, the moves that are homing on paper, this move is homing. They have the homing trail. They have streaks. In Tekken 8, it's blue streaks that follows your attack. That is what signifies homing. But in this game, there is so many moves just like this one here that is homing but does not have those streaks. Basically, what I'm saying is, like, do you need to add the streaks to this to show that it's homing? Or is this move not supposed to be working in this way and you need to nerf it? Or like, what's happening there? There's so many moves like this across the whole. That's why people say track in 8. And I wonder if the developers will do something about it in the season 2, or will we continue to have these moves that aren't supposed to home track? It's a very bizarre thing.
In all intents and purposes, this is a heat engager because he gets a guaranteed Phoenix Shift 1+2. And again, probably best heat engagers in the game. 13 frame Demon Breath. Safe on block. Heat engager. Phoenix Shift 1+2. This move is also basically homing and safe on block. And back to unblock. +6 Phoenix Shift. If we try and do anything, you have Phoenix Shift 1, which is a Power Crush. Fire and Flame, which does a lot of damage. Titan. Back 1+2.
Speaking briefly how people was calling the main man TheMainManSWE because, you know, he was paid to promote Heihachi. I don't know if he was paid to promote Clive or whatnot. Looking at this big chunk of whatever here, it doesn't seem like he was paid to promote Clive. This is what people wanted to see, is him like critiquing the game, and he's doing that here, right? So basically, I think main man gets more hate than he deserves at times. Like, he does a lot of the things that I do, like, you know, very opinionated, very dislike certain characters and not afraid to say. Like, you have a lot of people who dislike characters, but they won't say it because they're afraid to upset those characters. Like, no, bro, I'm going to tell you that your character's trash and you could be cool. You're cool, but the character you play is trash. I mean, look no further than a Moonsault Slayer playing Yoshimitsu.
His combos are very good. Let's just show you a goddamn stuff for this though. I just got a 4-4-2 counter it. Which is an Odin sword attack. This is basic staple for wall travel. That's 90 damage, right?
So the combos in this game is like really problematic, right? But the way that players talk about combos is as if it's a character issue, when I personally don't feel it's that way. I think over time you can see it just across the board. Combos have gotten so crazy and out of hand. The damage, the ways you can combo. Yes, it's cool that they're opening up options, but I think some of those options should be closed back up. Characters like Clive and Yoshimitsu and Dragunov, they show why combos are such a problem across the bored in Tekken 8. And I think if you nerf Yoshi, Drag, Clive, etc. combos, the game would still be pretty bizarre. Like Claudio's combos isn't that much. Like he don't hit you that much, right? He hit you probably like 6-7 times, but he does big damage, especially if the wall's involved. I think we should try to get the developers to realize that combos as a whole is doing too much, and they should scale it back a little bit, right?
Damage on a normal hit that's very chunky for a low. It is only -12 on block, but best of all, it is unparryable. You can't low parry this. You can't low parry this low because it is a weapon strike. It's a sword strike.
And that's the thing about Clive as well. It's like you're fighting Clive at a range. Like right now, Clive could hit Kazuya. Kazuya can't hit Clive. He can hit you at any point in time, but also you can't really do anything about it. You block it, he gets like mix-ups. You block it, you take chip damage. You can't parry it to like, you know, reverse and take your turn back. You can't sidestep to like try to make a miss and punish. That's what I feel like when I fight against Clive, is that like I simply just can't do anything.
Insane big Tekken, big sword strikes, mid-range, you know, reach, space control, but small Tekken, which is poking, not that good, not as good. A bit of a stubby jab, right? Bit of a stubby down for one. It's also 14 frame startup, -3 on block. The follow-ups, not that great. But the reality of this character, though, is that it's still pretty fucking decent, his small Tekken.
That's interesting, and that's probably what they did to balance the character, right? When you talk about his poking being small, that's what they do. The developers mastered the way to make a character busted online but weak in tournament. The way that they do that is they give them a lot of these big attacks that tracks, does big damage, that has like super confusing follow-ups. You crouch, you die, you stand up, you guard break. The players will gaslight you. Like they can't distinguish the two. Online power and tournament power. Both of those powers need to be in check. A lot of the times the Tekken player base will not check it because they are so obsessed with tournaments. So many people out there are obsessed with tournaments and never even played a tournament. It's like, bro, both online power and tournament power needs to be in check. And for Clive, it's probably not going to happen. For Heihachi, it didn't happen.
He doesn't do small Tekken like the top 5, etc., right? Like Jin 214, or you know what Nina can do. But he's still surprisingly decent at it.
This is a tier list video where he's talking about the balance of the game, and he spent 18 minutes of this 44-minute video talking about Clive. Is the guy really that problematic? Who else is he talking about? Claudio. Let's hear about Claudio.
Claudio is definitely up on this list, and this is mostly due to his tournament presence lately.
I remember he was like down, like somewhere down here or something. And I'm like, bro, there's no way Clive is this slow. There's no way Clive is this bad. Clive is a monster. And it takes people to dominate the Tekken World Tour Finals for people to finally give respect to the character. Jun Kazama, why is she so low? Look at Kazuya. You remember when the Kazuya mains was like, Kazuya is so bad. I think really what this speaks to is an imbalance in the whole game. I think that the whole roster is way too effective, way too powerful. There is no weaknesses. No sidestep weakness, no tracking, no low damage, no bad combos, no nothing. 17 characters is considered to be very, very strong in Tekken 8. And that's from the main man. I would say there's even more. That screams imbalance.
Yoshi is an absolute god. He's more specialized than, you know, Jin and Nina. Jin and Nina are more all-round. Dragunov's more all-round. Claudio is...
I'm happy that the main man said it, because when I say it, people get angry. When I say that Nina is not as complex as Yoshi, Nina mains get upset. But it's true. Like Yoshimitsu, I'm not even going to start. I get you guys don't want to give Yoshimitsu no credit at all. You just think Yoshimitsu is so easy. But the character does take a little bit of like brain power. To be truly effective with Yoshimitsu requires a different sort of person and a specialist. If you're just using Yoshi you're holding yourself back, in my opinion. Yeah, if you want to play a strong character simply because they're strong, go play Jin. And I would even say go play Claudio, because Claudio is a lesser used character, but he's one of the most powerful. The wins there will be so free.
all around, but his poking is not the best. Perfect, basically. This guy is not perfect. Also stubby poking, doesn't have a power low, a hell sweep style attack. Of course, it does an unblockable sword sweep instead, but again, that's not a hell sweep. That's a completely unique button. So he has issues, but then he's so unbelievably broken with his combos. His Oki is the best in the game. Did I mention Flash? Unblockable.
That's crazy how much respect he's given to the Yoshi players here. Because when I be saying it, bro, people say that I be downplaying. When I say his poking, which is what he just said, when I say Yoshimitsu has bad lows, Mayman just said it too. He said literally the only tool he has is the unblockable low. And people will look at my gameplay and be like, oh, why do you spam unblockable low so much? It's like, bro, because I have to. Like, what? I don't have a down two like Jin Kazama. I don't have like, you know, that like a hatchet kick like Brian. Like, what? I have to. I like to do it. It's fun to do it.
I just think the only thing you have to say about this character is super broken launch into super broken damage, recovers all of his health into super broken kin tech trap or forward 1+2 Oki. That's really the only thing I need to say about this character.
That's true. That's Yoshimitsu. Okay, someone said Eleanor.
Pretty all-around and honest character in the end, although I lose to this character a lot because I don't know the matchup. I just don't care that much for the character. But has good tools. In down for the 1+2 is one of the best lows in the game. Strong mid to low mix-ups. Has a hell sweep that can wall splat. Has strong mids. Has strong evasion, has a Kempo, has a Bok into a safe mid launcher. Has a lot of good stuff. Like, this character is probably pretty slept on, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was waiting for him to say what she does wrong, and he didn't. He just kept going, like, strong mids, hell sweep that wall splats, strong this, strong that. This character is slept on. What? You can't say the character is slept on, and you're sleeping on the character. Put Eleanor up the tier list. Bro sleeps on Eleanor and then has the audacity to say she slept on. What?
No one gives a shit about this character. If more people played Leo, I think maybe the character would shine more.
The way that Tekken players treat the low tier section is basically I don't care about them. I don't care. I don't care enough to lab them. I don't care enough to, you know, really think about their gameplay. I'm just going to throw them in low tier because I don't care. That's literally how Tekken players use it. And it's a horrible way to do. One, a tier list where you're supposed to talk about every character. But then two, it's like, bro, what?
King has dropped slightly on my tier list. I hold this character very high due to having down for 2-1, which is a completely busted attack. He also has counter it throw utility, which is crazy in this game. His blue spark throws on counter it are largely unbreakable. It's 7-frame break window. Impossible unless you have to preemptively mash the throw break.
Okay, I think King is a good time to talk about throws. One, he has more throws than anyone else. When Yoshimitsu pushes you with heat, you have to consider so many different options coming at you. Unblockables, this, that, whatever. The same is true with King. When King is looking like he's getting ready to grab you, you have to consider so much. So I don't know why his grabs are faster. It doesn't seem like that should be a thing. But then two, and I don't know the specifics of this, you guys are going to have to like correct me on this, but King has the thing where like he does a 2 throw or a 1 throw and it looks like a 1+2, or I think it's the other way around where he does a 1+2 and it looks like a 2 throw. All of that stuff sounds like bad game design to me. Visually, you should be able to see what he's trying to do and not, oh, he's trying to do a 1+2, but it looks like a 2 and I press 2 and now I die. Like, that to me screams bad game design. And the fact that people haven't spoken up about that sooner, it just speaks to how popular characters get away with murder. If your character's popular and everyone loves King, no one's going to stand up and say this thing about King is unacceptable because they're all exploiting it. Right?